Okay. Okay. So I know I literally just uploaded a video talking about how I'm kind of tired of doing these type of like blog reads and stuff, and I want to do more. I'm still working on the Evo video. But I would feel some type of way if I didn't like talk about them changing things back after the entire community just did a freaking slam dunk on them last week. So they wrote back some changes and did some other stuff too. So let's talk about those. I'm only talking about this. Anything else that I deem not important is immediately getting cut out. All right. Okay. Let's talk about it. Before we get started with our weekly round of news for Destiny 2, we'd like to take a moment to touch on the feedback and conversation around the portal and its rewards. Portal and progression updates. We initially outlined some goals on August 7th dedicated to improving the progression and increasing the Crucible and Fireteam mobs rewards and addressing feedback around raid rewards. Last week we covered a handful of improvements to scoring and portal rewards. We also announced plans to tune some rewards down to solo ops and pinnacle ops. Based on player feedback, we're revising our approach to balancing progression, as we believe our previous approach was too conservative and these nerfs would work against our goals of improving progression. To be clear, we believe these changes were the wrong call. I don't understand how they made it past then, but we'll let you take your win though. We want all activities in the portal, solo, and fireteam base to feel rewarding. We want activities to contribute understandable and meaningful progress to your climb and power. As such, the following changes are being made immediately. Planned reductions to power earned for a given gate in solo drops have been reverted. Thank you. Planned reductions to engrams earned in Encore, Star Coast, and Whispers have been reverted. Planned changes for prime engrams to require decryption in the tower have been reverted. I'm so glad they reverted this one. I still find it funny that this is the first one they talked about, because literally I got a prime engram and I got some engrams. I got some engrams from farming Encore. No, from farming Whisper for mid retrograde yesterday, which the freaking bonus modifier was not working. If you guys didn't know, the modifier that this week was supposed to be bonus focus drops. So if you was like focusing with Whisper yesterday, it was mid retrograde, you was to get 2 drops instead of 1. It was not working, so they rolled it back to extra score. So, but in the midst of me going back to the tower to clear my Hostmaster, it took 10 minutes to load into the tower because these console players take forever for us to load in. And I'm not saying it's your fault, but that's the reason. It's console players. I don't know why it's like that, but it's weird. Okay, so buffs to fireteam mobs. When it comes to fireteam mobs, we know what we have to do. Here's a list of buffs we're planning on and some new changes that we're adding in response to your feedback. Okay, so this is already live. Increase match-made fireteam mobs time limit from 20 by 25% in expert, 50 in master, and 75% grandmaster. Coming in Ash and Iron, the number of drops from Malady, Inverted Spire, and Onslaught Wooder's Court. Activity timers have been rebalanced for solo ops, pinnacle ops, and fireteam ops. Fireteam ops is a greater value for speed versus killing all enemies. New, increase the number of drops for many more activities in fireteam ops. Our team is still looking on finalizing which specific activities we can buff up, and we're still sharing a few more details after we finish validating these changes. New, removing unpopular mods like Grappler from the Fireteam mods matchmaking pool that will still be selectable when customizing. Okay, so if you guys who don't know why they're removing this, there's times when you load into it. Say you got a grenade build, say you're doing a freaking Ashen Wake build on your Titan, and then you get Grappler. You can't use your build, especially if you're doing on Grandmaster. You just locked into. Your loadout's locked when you queue on a Grandmaster, which is already very jarring for me, but it makes sense. But loading into a matchmaking activity and my stuff is locked is kind of weird to me. Anyway, you can't use your build. You just stuck out of it. So more buffs. In last week's tweet, we were providing a ton of information about various changes and data that drove them. Hidden within were several buffs, small and large, which we wanted to scoop out of that doc and more clearly highlight. There's a perpetual weekly challenges added, improved gear teardrops, gear attunement, portal. The time bonus earned will grant 5% max. Oh, I'm sorry. The time bonus earned will grant 5% minimum score if you make a timer. Your account highest power will be used for reward scores rather than the equipped power. Thank the Lord. You will no longer need to wear your highest power gear while playing to get the highest score possible. Conquests are now replayable. Okay. So the situation with Conquest being replayable, this is cool, but if it's just gonna give normal like portal loot, I don't understand why I would do this over solo ops or pinnacle ops, because if it's going to give like +3, 4 like it did before, beautiful, but we'll see. In the long run, we are still going to be curious about a singular ops category activity becoming the go-to for power leveling. You want Destiny to be a game where you want to hop in with your friends to level, rather than declining an invite to spend time in the solo activity for the sake of progression. In this case, we understand that alternate experiences need to be brought up a bit more to help things feel good, rather than pushing other options down in the short term. And we don't want players who generally just want to play solo or pinnacle after feeling like they're getting caught by a stray nerf. Our current approach is to bring options up and make sure they feel good before we took a look at the problem children. I get what they're saying here. I don't think solo ops is a problem. Just buff everything else. So like solo ops is still an opportunity. I see that they're saying they're gonna do that, but I feel like they're alluding that solo ops is a problem child when it's not a problem child. It's just the best option. So if you make other options better, there's still gonna be an opportunity for people that want to do other stuff to get higher tier leveled stuff, not just nerf solo ops, because solo ops is the best because it's the fastest. If you wanted to be able to do some stuff grinding by yourself and you ain't got nobody to play with, solo ops should be the option, and it should still be a usable option. But that doesn't mean anything else should be also useless, and that doesn't mean you should make it useless because that's the only thing people are playing. Moving on. I hope is to continue to iterate on and improve the progression through the power level power band with increases to Fireteam Ops to Portal, as well as combined with your improvements to the Crucible. We have made an additional improvements to the raid rewards coming in 9.1.0 as well. Now on to our regularly scheduled swap. All right, heavy metals back. The limited 3v3p, yeah. So you can get a heavy duty emblem. You can get a new sword that's hollow foil at rank 10. You can get the shotgun, a kinetic shotgun, a hollow foil for hitting 15, and the Griffin Exotic Sparrow is back. You get this emblem. Class fantasy. This is what I want to talk about. Let's talk about this. Class fantasy and Destiny. When you boot up Destiny 2 for the first time, your Guardian class is the first choice you ever make as a light bearer. Do you want to be the floaty one holding a fireball, the slender one with a cape and blade, or the big one with a single monstrous shoulder piece? Each Guardian class is a unique fantasy that players assume as they play. We talk about fantasy at Bungie. We often split the term into emotional fantasy and mechanical fantasy. To oversimplify, emotional fantasy is how you feel when you play, and mechanical fantasy is what you do when you play. When it comes to mechanical fantasy or the gameplay role that the classes play in combat, Destiny classes don't have the hard lines that some other RPGs have. This is particularly due to the demands of the fast-paced action game, but also because Guardians are tiny gods with the power to cross lines and break rules. We don't want to dedicate a healer class or a DPS class. Yes, we deliberately give certain classes more access to more keywords to reinforce their class identity, but rarely do we give them exclusive access to keywords. After all, if all classes have equal access to everything, what's the point of having classes to begin with? Some of these changes will come in the releases during the month of September, others in October, and others will still in Destiny 2 Update 9.5 alongside Renegade releases and beyond. With further ado, let's dive in. So for Warlock, they're basically allowing Warlock turret. The following Warlock turrets will now count as grenades for stats and perks: Ionic Sentry, Arc Soul, Hylian, Bleak Watcher, and Child of the Old Gods. So I'm assuming this means it also gets the damage bonus from 200% grenade stat. That's actually pretty solid. The thing is, I know there were a bunch of Warlocks saying that we're tired of only having buddies for builds. Can we do something else? And they're double downing on it. Even though they did say they were going to work on some other stuff. So hopefully this is just, hey, we understand you're tired of we're tired of buddy builds, but let's make them really good for now, and we'll worry about changing everything else later. Empowering Rift will now generate neutral game ability energy over time. Kills while standing in a Empowering Rift will generate bonus ammo progress for 15% for specials, 10% for heavies. For Titans, I was very disappointed when I read this. Let's talk about this real quick. The Titan is not a traditional melee or tank class, but they have universal access to damage and mitigation and increased melee damage, so they know that. Now, the things they gave us are Howl of the Storm, increase Howl of the Storm is a stasis exotic, the little slide stasis exotic that whenever you slide in melee, it puts up some ice. Okay? Will now grant 2 melee charges. Change the stasis crystal spawn pattern and added 4 more crystals. Bastion will now have a faster cooldown in PvE. They changed this. I don't know why this vibe is not updated for me, but it is now PvE. It is not meant for it to be PvP. I know PvP is already bad enough. Having faster charging freaking void barricade is going to make it even worse. So it's PvE. There's a mistake. Problem is, who cares? I'm not even curious. Who cares about Howl of the Storm? Nobody. No one cares about Howl of the Storm. No one at all. No one. So the question is, unless this comes out and makes it the freaking bee's knees, it's going to be another useless change. Warlocks got a solid one. Hunters got a solid one as well. Let's talk about that one. On your mark. Stacks of on your mark now give weapon stat instead of weapon handling and reload. Max of 40 weapon stats at 10 stacks. Rescaled the stacks count to max of 10 stacks. Precision hits now grant 1 stack. Precision final blows give 2 stacks. Precision final blows at 10 stacks now cure you instead of giving you radiant. Both of these is good. I would because Hunter doesn't have an ability to cure that often, so cure could be pretty good instead of radiant, but both are pretty good though. Golden Gun Deadshot now refunds ammo on Golden Gun final blows instead of ignitions. Now extends the super duration of Golden Gun final blows. Duration gains diminished with final blows grant less than a Crucible. Marksman Dodge now reloads all weapons on activation and also now picks up ammo nearby on activation. Beautiful. Artiflate, blah 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 blah. This is for stuff if you guys want to do the Destiny Rising launch. You can pause here. If you do the opening missions for Destiny Rising, they give you a code. You put the code and you get the symbol. Looks nice. Last call for the nation. Scroll. That's it. And that's it for this week's TWID. And that's it for this week's TWID. Are you planning on jumping in at the very start of Heavy Metal, or maybe you want to dive deeper into the class fantasy info we dropped and tell us what you think? We love hearing your feedback and voices, so keep the conversation going. We look forward to getting more updates from you guys in the coming weeks and appreciate all the feedback we've received so far. We're in this together, D2 community team. Okay, overall, I'm glad they rolled this back. We were really looking forward to them rolling them back. I am disappointed with the Titan changes. I feel like there's more. I'm hoping there's more in the long run. I know they said here right here, we'd like to make updates to Ward of Dawn and the Sentinel subclass, among other things. So I hope that comes in soon. Please do some more stuff for Titan. We are tired. Well, I'm tired. I don't know about you guys, but I am tired of if the enemy is not in melee range, we can't do anything. So I'd hope we get some more range supers. So yeah, hopefully do. Anyway, have a good one. Stay spooky. I'll see you guys next time.